Hi everybody, out with my modified RC Powers F22 version 5 built with Dollar Tree foam or Adams Ready board. This is about the third flight session now I've had with this plane, and I've got about 30 plus flights on it now, and today just really finished getting it dialed in. So you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference between the first video that I shot on this plane and now, but I can tell you that it certainly feels really balanced and dialed into me now. So anyway, I'll talk a little bit more about what I did at the end of the flight. So let's just have a good thrash. Luckily there's not a breath of wind today. It's nice, fairly cool. Fairly cool, dense air. Just a beautiful day for flying, no sun in my face as well, which is kind of a different thing. So it really cranks nicely now. You know, just that last little bit of fine tuning to get the throws and the control surfaces. Make sure the control surfaces are all dead center at at zero trim. I now have the battery, I'll show you, I have the battery about 3/8 of an inch further forward than what it was in the last video, and my speed controller, or sorry, further back, and my speed controller about an inch. Raptor Atolla of rock and rolla. And my speed controller, like I said, about an inch further back. So what this has allowed me to do is I've tightened up even more weight close to the center of gravity. My center of gravity is actually, or my balance point has actually slid back about 1/8 of an inch as well. So I'm bang on the center part of the black rectangle in the CG spectrum that RC Powers puts on the plans. Okay, a little high speed. Just tracks like it's on rails there. So nice. Nice lazy loop. So the balance, you know, now that I've got the balance longitudinally, it just feels better balanced in all three axes really. Like in this loop here, I'm just pulling up, and there I'm just letting go, power back, letting go of the up elevator, and then just, you know, just powering on and adding in a little bit more elevator at the bottom to bring it back level. So it feels, like I said, it feels really dialed in. Oh yeah, baby! Whew! That's cool. I could feel the prop wash on my legs there. Yahoo! All right. Enough of that buffoonery before I hurt myself. Okay, so I'm just going to click a little flaps on here. It does want to drop its nose when you but it just, you know, it's fun to play around with. Helps you land even a little more soft. So I just leave the flaps deflected. I think I have about 3, maybe it's easier to see from behind. I have about 3/8, maybe half an inch of flap on there. Again, I increased the size of the ailerons by about 15% over plan. So okay, just make sure I got my throttle kill switch. So essentially what happened was, before today's flight session, what I did was I zeroed all my trims on my all my control surfaces, and what I found out is, and this happens sometimes when I build a new plane, is that, you know, as the hinges get broken in and the linkages get seated and all that sort of stuff. Is sometimes what I find is after, when I zero the trims, is the control surfaces will no longer be dead center when you're at zero trim. So what I like to do then is obviously get them back to dead center at zero trim, and then, you know, sort of start over again, because it just, you know, there's no point in trying to balance the plane or trimming it to fight control surfaces that aren't dead center at zero trim. So like I said, I know I don't even know if I showed this the last time, but my battery, the back of my battery now is about 3/8 of an inch further back than it was. My speed controller, about an inch. My speed controller before was tucked right in underneath, in here somewhere. So that, the CG is right there now. So I was about 1/8 of an inch further ahead of that. So yeah, really, I know I may not have been able to demonstrate it all that well in the video, but that's one thing I find when I really want to dial a plane in for good precise flying is, you know, give it several flights, let those hinges and linkages and servos and everything else get seated. Take it to zero trim, see where your control surfaces are, adjust accordingly, and then redo it. And I think you'll find, I find anyway, that my planes get dialed in even better. So since my last video as well, I've posted about this. This is the RC Timer FR2205 2550 kV motor, and it normally has a label or a sticker on it here, and mine came off actually I guess in the first flying session, maybe just after I videotaped it the first time, and made one heck of a racket. Luckily it didn't go down into any of these holes. I posted that, and a couple of guys that are also using this motor, Peter and Silvio, Homie666 and RC Urso from the RC Powers website, said they had the same problem. So if you decide to use this motor, I would take the label off right away so that it doesn't get ingested down in there. Another thing I wanted to point out is even though when I moved the motor further forward, I reduced the area of this bottom plate, it still creates considerable lift, especially as the plane gains speed. So even though it's really well balanced now and really dialed in, I put washers in between the metal motor mount and the wooden motor mount. I know it's hard for you to see probably, but it tilts the motor down a little bit and helps keep, you know, the nose wanting to go down rather than as you hammer the throttle, and rather than it just sort of driving itself straight ahead, it wants to continue to climb. So anyway, there we go, folks. Good and dialed in now. The RC Powers F22 version 5, made out of Dollar Tree foam, Adams Ready board. Please check out the comments down below for more information. Thanks very much for watching. Blue skies, calm winds to everyone. Park jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care.